Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars head to Boulder for a battle against Coach Prime and the Buffaloes. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Oh, man. Hans and Scotty, Frank Dolce right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Do you think people would be entertained in what happens?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
You know what I think, Frank? I think you bring out the worst in me. That's what I think.
That is a horrible thing to say.
I think you try.
That is such a
there's some things that happen.
All the things you've said to me, I mean, make fun of my eye. Make fun of my veneers that I don't have.
There's a certain reaction that all you have to do is just kind of nudge hands in one direction, and you just full out pushed him in the break. And Lloyd and I are looking at each other like, oh, Frank, no, don't do this.
You know what my pet peeves are, Frank. You know what they are, so stop. Before somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do?
I'm unstable right now.
I just want I want to come over to your house, mansion. Have you been to that? I can't even find myself around that floor plan. Like, it's unbelievable.
And that's just the first 10 acres.
My two-bedroom
King Charles is going to walk out of one of those bedrooms or something. Harry and Meghan. I want to go and have you make a big plate of nachos in your gourmet kitchen, and Scotty and you and I can just go down into the studio theater.
Yeah.
And watch a few games on a Saturday afternoon.
I'd love it.
Like, why can't we do that?
That would be fun.
Most like Scotty and I are knee deep. Like, I'm leaving for Colorado, and you got Tennessee. You're headed to Nashville.
I'm out tomorrow, yeah.
You got plans in Nashville?
No, because I don't have time. You know, that's what sucks about this, because you fly in, and then I've got to meet with the coaches and record pregame and all this stuff. And then the game starts at 10:45 on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's the greatest city, one of the greatest cities in our great country. And I'm only going to spend about 20 hours there. And it makes me sad.
Are you going to get to go to the Pancake Pantry? There's another place there, the biscuit place, where you should go. It's right across the street from the Pancake Pantry.
The pancake. Well, that's the thing.
Have you ever heard of that pancake pantry?
No, I have not.
I love pancakes.
I do
in Nashville?
I love pancakes.
Well, listen, if you guys are tied out, do you mind if I go to your house and make nachos and watch it?
Frank's over there on the flat top.
I mean,
making your nachos.
That theater room, it's like you're at the stadium.
I know, right?
My mom and dad come out of their house like, what? Frank, what are you doing down there?
Your mom would be like, who's that handsome fella?
Why is Tony Danza cooking nachos?
Oh, my gosh. That is so that's a stereotype. You just can't, that's so terrible.
Who's Michael Corleone out there?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's okay. Let's go that. I mean, I'd go that route. Yeah.
Oh, I got to get it together, Frank.
I'm sorry.
You make me belly laugh too much, Frank.
All right. I don't even remember. What did we tease?
The offensive line. I mean, all of the things that Hans said were very reasonable. Like Lander Barton's missing a block. It may be just the complexity of it, and he doesn't do it on a regular basis. He doesn't have enough time to practice that regularly. And other people playing offensive positions who are typically on the defensive side, although we've seen those guys be productive. I mean, you can't take that away. But
Smith's note on a fly sweep is awesome.
But all
when
of
it's
those
blocked properly.
Yeah, all of those things make sense. And I align with you on all of those things. Like you have guys that are playing two positions, and it's hard to maybe get the complexity of the offense and the blocking schemes, so you have to simplify that. All of that, I believe, is true. But what do you say about the offensive line? Like that, all of that doesn't.
I've got the answer to that. I've got the answer to that because I talked to Scotty about this, and I've gone to that stadium and called a game at West Virginia, and it sucks. You stay in Pittsburgh, hour and a half drive. It's a miserable little bowl. Fans hate you. It's just a miserable place. Have you been there or called a game there?
Not at West Virginia.
At West Virginia?
No.
Miserable little place. And then they get in there and they get really physical. So what my take was to Scotty was, stop all the outside flip and flings, stop the fly sweeps, stop all the gadgets and gimmicks, and just say, all right, let's go beat West Virginia power for power, man for man. Because I do believe that Utah's fronts, both offensively and defensively, with Aliki Viamahi or without Aliki Viamahi, are going to beat West Virginia's fronts. I was looking at their three interior guys, Kimo, Landon Livingston, and Walter Young-Bear. There's a left guard named Walter Young-Bear, and he's a senior. All three of those guys, I think they're just
dudes.
Just dudes.
Yeah.
They're mediocre dudes. So give me some interior guys that just torch them. That's on the defensive side. And then offensively, I was looking at their defensive line. Their defensive tackle, Edward Vasternine, he's their best player. But I don't think he's as good as the three interior guys that you've got. So I think just beat these guys. Just torch them. Downhill runs. Come at them. And if it doesn't work the first time, do it a second time. And if you get two stalled out drives with different types of zone interior blasts, blunts, dives, draws, then go to the OTs, but just go slightly to the OTs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So get your fifth connected, go with 12 personnel, and come downhill off tackle and give me some true downhill looks. And if you got to sacrifice a couple of drives to get it going, wear them down and continue to push them around, because what I think will make Jason Beck amazing is when he feels like he's got a true downhill threat that can torch with power. And now all of a sudden, I got all these things built out around it. Mm-hmm. Now you've got to start to creep guys in. You got to keep your nickel on the inside of my slot receiver that just happens to be a 6'4" J.J. Buchanan. Now you got to keep him on the inside because he got to come down for run support in case I'm running just something off tackle with an attached tight end. And it just changes things.
Take all that cute stuff.
Yeah.
It's not working, so put a shed around it and just forget about it.
Build a shed over it.
Yeah.
Because it's little right now.
Yeah. You don't want it. You don't want any of that.
And go to the strength of this team.
So you don't think Utah tried to do that against Texas Tech?
Not enough, no.
Not enough.
Not enough. I think they tried in a 4th and 1 situation when Texas Tech went all pinch and had linebackers walked up, and that's a murderous time to do it.
Okay, so this calls into question this aspect, the 4th and 1. I mean, it failed, so then it becomes a terrible play call. Second guessing, should you have done something differently?
No.
Why not?
I don't.
Okay, so is it too early to call into question what occurred in the scheme, in the play calling on Saturday, and can that evolve?
So this is really ticky-tack, and this is a big guess on my part. And I can't remember if it was Sean Parker or Nakari Rogers that ran on the 4th and 1. Do you guys remember if it was Parker or Rogers? I think he missed the gap.
I think that's true.
He missed the gap. I think it was supposed to be between tackle and guard, and he went more offside tackle, on outside offside tackle, and hit the tackle. I think it was supposed to be more between tackle and guard. I think he missed the gap.
And in slow motion you could see that, and maybe he did. But if he did, it was like there was not much of a seam. There was probably enough to make a first down.
But there was enough to make a first.
Yeah.
But even then, this is why I hate this conversation. Even it was Nakari Rogers. Even then, they got the first.
Oh,
they had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't review it. Did you hear about? Did you hear about this?
I didn't. But why didn't they review it? I've been so. I thought Pac-12 referees were questionable.
Lloyd's going to pull this up. This is going to be really. This is going to make you angry.
Yeah.
even more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Take the veneer and times it by 10 when you hear this.
This is going to bug you. And by the way, I want to set the scene on this because Kyle doesn't mention this, but I want to set the scene on this, Frank. So they came out to measure the ball placement on first eye.
Yes.
Remember they came out to measure it?
Yes.
Okay, so in that measurement process is when I believe this conversation happened between the officials and Kyle Whittingham, but somewhere in this measurement process is where I think that this conversation happened. Because if somebody were to hear this Kyle Whittingham cut without understanding what was happening with the ball measurement, then they probably are like, well, what point does an official come over and even say something like that to a head coach? But because you had this extra time in the measurement, this is the conversation that you got.
I was going to challenge it, and I went to the ref to say we want to challenge. He says replay had already confirmed, because they're looking at every play, and so if they've already confirmed it, because it was in the ref's ear right there, because I saw the same thing everyone else did on the board, and he said, Coach, don't waste your challenge. Replay has already confirmed the call, and you'll just get the same answer, that confirmed. So, but yeah, that was in my mind a challenge. But when I got that information, that obviously would have been a bad decision to do that.
Yeah, that's something that I have a hard time with because I don't think that they're reviewing every single solitary play. If the replay official just buzzed down and goes, "Hey, yeah, no, I don't think he got it," and they're like, "Oh, hey, guess what? He didn't have it. He didn't have it." Well, no, let's take a moment and let's actually look at it because they're not analyzing every single play. And even then, it's not their place to be like, oh, yeah, no, it's totally good. We're good. It's like when your kid comes home and says, Dad, don't look at the rear bumper. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
You're going to go look at that rear bumper and see, what did you do?
What?
What'd you do, Frankie Jr.?
Yeah. Wait, why would you?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
that's the only one I could think of.
Listen. Well, actually, that was a pretty good example. So that's a critical situation in the game. That's a critical down and distance. There is clearly question about whether or not the spot occurred correctly. It takes replay. In fact, there was a play later in the game that was ridiculously obvious that went to replay. Even the TV guys were like, Are you honestly reviewing this? What is taking so long?
Yeah.
And on that critical play, it's an immediate confirmation.
Yeah.
From the replay booth?
Terrible.
Seems weird. Look, I know how this works. The losing team always has an issue with the referees. That's how it goes. It delegitimizes the argument against refereeing. I try to look at it objectively. I think there were calls in that game that were missed in favor of Utah. So Texas Tech probably should have gotten some penalty yardage granted to them, but there were missed calls. Like what I thought were kind of obvious missed calls. There was a holding penalty that I was like, geez, how did they let that one go? And so I think there's part of this is the inconsistency in the calls when you see it happening. Like in one situation it applies, in another situation it doesn't apply. And so maybe that's the issue with Big 12 referees at this point, like this inconsistency of applying the standard across the entire game.
Did the Big 12 get a little Pac-12 stink on them? What happened here?
I haven't. Okay, so there used to be some Pac-12 refs. Like every time they came up, you were like, "Yep, okay, there's gonna be 5 missed calls in this game. There's 5 obvious things that's gonna happen because this guy's terrible or these 2 guys are terrible." I saw one of those guys pop up in, it was either Big 10. I think it was Big 10, and I was like, "Oh man." Good
luck with that.
Yeah, he's going to be no good. But I haven't recognized any former Pac-12 refs in the Big 12. I'm sure it's occurred.
Frank, one thing I wanted to kind of get to and break down with you. Gosh, I feel stupid now because I can't remember Devin Dampier's second interception. So I'll start with the first one. Hopefully you can think of the second one.
The second one is he's rolling out, chucks the ball deep up into the air into double coverage. Two guys in the same area.
Oh, that was the second one? What was the first one?
That was the second one.
What was the first one? Because the one I'm seeing in my mind was
when he escaped the
under
sack.
pressure. Yeah, he had the sack. He shoved the guy down, rolled all the way to the sideline, and bombed it into double coverage. Just a totally ill-advised throw.
Wouldn't you say both of them were?
Well, I'm trying to remind me of the other one.
I can't remember the second one.
Like, can you remember the second? Because I know you had 2 interceptions. Was there one at the end of the fourth quarter, or was there a desperation throw?
If I remember right, it was once again into double triple coverage.
Yeah, it was like a late, just chuck it into the cheap seats throw. That's what he should have done, or try and get some. He was just too far out of the pocket and deep that he couldn't have run to gain any yardage. So that's when you just throw it away. And he was trying to make a play. I get it. In both the situations, my thought was he's trying to make a play. The offense is struggling. They need to get something going. But they were both passes that you just thought, why did you? There's no way you can throw that.
I mean, there were so many good things he did to escape the sack, get out of the pocket. And you're thinking, when he let it go, I'm like, he's got a guy wide open.
Yeah, because earlier in the game you had that touchdown that got called back.
Yeah,
off the line.
Which, by the way, that throw was insane.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was a very good throw.
It's like the way Frank used to do it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that he did on that throw is he chucked it up high in the air, and that gives your receiver an opportunity to go get the ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and he did.
Run underneath it.
And then he had to make an adjustment. It was a really good catch, too. So,
was that Jackson Benny?
That was Benny.
That was.
Jeez.
Yeah. How about that guy?
Benny is something. He's the best surprise of the 2025 season.
I think so, too.
You know, his interception, he had another knockdown that was incredible.
Yeah.
So
by the way, that Dampier second interception that he threw he was rolling left or whatever and threw it from his back foot, and the guy was sandwiched between two.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, a guy on the bottom and a guy on the top.
That's right. Okay, so Frank, I just want to go to this because it's really bugging me, and I would say it's accentuated right now in my mind because I call these BYU games, and I was watching BYU at ECU with a true freshman quarterback, knowing how important every possession was against ECU because it's a good team. And there's not a single turnover, not a single pick, not a single fumble, not even a fumble that was re-recovered. And then I'm watching, I actually watched the Utah game first because it was more of an early day. I'm watching the Utah game, and Devin Dampier throws a couple of picks. Devin Dampier put a fumble on the ground.
Yes.
That was recovered by his own team. And then Davis and Parker each put a fumble on the field. 4 turnovers, could have been 5. And I'm like, wait a second. Where's the base? Like, if you're going to go play a ranked Texas Tech team that you know is a dog, you can't have 1. And you gave 4. And so I would imagine that the biggest talk that Kyle Whittingham's having with the offensive side of the ball is, we will never do this again. And if we do it again, we're going to start burying bodies because we're not doing this. Right?
You say things. Sometimes you say things, and they're like my favorite things that you say because it's just so descriptive and meaningful.
Yeah.
When you say, because
bodies.
Yeah, because the truth is, what's the prime thing that you cannot have on the offensive side of the ball in Kyle Whittingham's mind?
This turnover, man, you can't.
No.
You can't give a ball security. He preaches it. It's constant. It's because in an evenly matched game, it's more often than not determined by turnovers. Who wins and who loses the turnover battle. And so when you say burying bodies, I mean, there's some legitimacy to that.
Yeah.
Like if the ball's on the ground. So there's that. There's 4 turnovers by Utah, terrible ball security. On the other side, Did you see the way Texas Tech was managing it? The one turnover, clear as day, perfect shot from behind, linebacker is like George Foreman.
Yeah.
Punching the ball and strikes it dead on just perfect shot on the ball. It comes flying out. So great preparation, execution on the Texas Tech side of, look, that we've seen this in film. I think what they said is they've seen in film this issue with potential issue with ball security. This is how we're going to manage it, and it worked.
Hans and Scotty, Frank Dolce, your Ute Preview Show right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Big one coming up for the Utes. They take on West Virginia. We'll talk more about that next right here on the Zone.
Let's go! Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars head to Boulder for a battle against Coach Prime and the Buffaloes. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Woo!
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Utah trying to regroup after that loss to Texas Tech, hitting the road to West Virginia. You know the interesting thing about the Big 12? Well,
no,
the unfortunate thing about the Big 12 is the fact that these are not easy cities to get to. Hans has experienced that up close and in person. Pac-12, hey, flight to Seattle, flight to Los Angeles, another flight to Los Angeles, flight to Boulder. Like, these were easy places to get to. West Virginia is not an easy place to get to. Manhattan, Kansas is not an easy place to get to.
West Virginia is literally a flight into Pittsburgh, and then
an hour and a half drive,
90-minute drive.
Yeah,
and who doesn't love a drive across the country?
Well, and if you break down on that drive, Ned Beatty's there.
Deliverance kind of thing.
Yeah, so
yikes,
it doesn't end well. So just make sure your rental car is in prime condition, because those hills have eyes, and a nice set of teeth on you. So, but West Virginia is not a particularly good team. Like, if Utah goes out there, like Hans is talking about, and just plays their game and doesn't try to get overly cute, this should be a win for Utah.
Yes. And yes, it should. And I think you said it on Monday, Scotty. There is no option.
No, they have to win this game.
There is no option.
No, I agree with that.
No try, only win.
Yeah. I've always felt like Kyle Whittingham's legacy is more secure than Mike Gundy.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt like, for whatever reason, people, and maybe I just don't know Mike Gundy and his time at Oklahoma State enough, but Mike Gundy had a couple of embarrassing losses, and Oklahoma State was like, nah, we're done. If Utah goes to West Virginia and just looks inept, and they suffer a 34-7 loss,
yikes!
It's so deeply unacceptable that my brain can't even start to think of if that were to happen. It's not, it won't, because I think that this staff and Kyle has too much resolve. But Frank, just so we're all clear, and Scotty said this first, that there is no room for a loss in this game against West Virginia. And it's not easy, because I went there. I called the BYU game. That BYU team was pretty good, and they lost there.
It was a decent West Virginia team. That was the one that Neil Brown got himself a little extra money before he got fired, because he got that team turned around that year, and then they went in the tank the following year. But still, Utah's too good. You don't lose this. You can't lose this game. If you lose this game, the season's toast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, let's see, I'm just looking at this.
Okay.
That was, Scotty, that was 2023, and that was West Virginia, November 4th. we went out to West Virginia. And BYU had just lost to Texas and with Slovis. Okay, so here you go. That was Slovis's last game, was against Texas. That was Retzlaff's first start.
Wow.
Was at West Virginia. And BYU mustered 7 points in that game. This was the kickoff to the 4 straight losses with Jake Retzlaff as your starter. But this was the painful one. Oh, this is it. Frank.
Yeah.
West Virginia ran for 336 yards against Jay Hill's defense.
Oh, yeah, that's an anomaly.
And then they threw for 231 yards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And 2 touchdowns against Jay Hill's defense.
That's not good.
And put up 37 points against Jay Hill's defense. Now, that was Jay Hill's first year.
Yeah.
And, he was working new talent and trying to get things settled. And this is before Gary Anderson came in and Chad came in. And this is when, this is about the time that year that I was like, the defensive front was just getting washed. Anytime they were running Rams lines, any type of slants, trying to get into gaps, protections, their D-lines were getting washed and run. There was just no discipline on fronts, and West Virginia ate them up. And that was not a great West Virginia team, to your point, Scotty.
Were they 7-5 that year?
They were
8-4 maybe.
They were 6-3 at the time of that game. So they were better. They were 6-3 at the time of that game, and they finished 9-4 with a win against North Carolina in the Mayo Bowl.
Have you guys ever tried to navigate through the Big 12 website?
I guess West Virginia was pretty good that year.
Yeah,
they were. They finished with wins against Cincinnati, Baylor. They had wins against BYU, UCF, TCU, Texas Tech, Pitt, and Duquesne and North Carolina. Yeah, it was a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
So West Virginia,
but not 300 yards rushing good. And that was because BYU wasn't prepared to go into a city where it was going to be as ugly and nasty as that was.
That's right. Speaking of, even last year they beat Arizona at home, Cincinnati at home, Oklahoma State at home. Like, it's just tough to go there and get a win. Green is gone. Marshall's their starter. But we did go through there. Okay, that is something. When you were out for just a second, we went over West Virginia's injuries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting 3 running backs, possibly out. 2 of them are probably out. 1 of them possibly out. Their starting quarterback, Marshall, is doubtful. Their best receiver is doubtful. So
is Devin Dampier on there, by the way?
On the injury report?
Yeah.
No, he was not listed on the injury report.
No, everybody's making a big deal about that. West Virginia's averaging 200 yards per game, 2-2 on the year. On the ground.
Yeah.
130 through the air.
But considering what we know about Utah, or what we expect out of Utah, throwing in West Virginia and then those injuries, Utah needs to win this game by 2 touchdowns.
And my gut feel is that they will.
Yeah, I do too.
I just kind of feel like they're going to be just fine. I'm not overly concerned.
What is a just fine performance? Is it just fine for performance? 17 to 10
32-17, 32-14 on the road at that place.
32-10, right? Is that what you said?
32-17.
17 points. I don't think that's a convincing win. Do you think that's a get right?
32-17.
32-17.
I take that right now.
32-10.
On the road, you beat anybody in conference on the road.
I always go with a late touchdown. So it would be 32-10, 4th quarter, bringing in reserves. West Virginia hits it. I always add something because that's how it always goes in football. Like, for instance, my prediction for BYU against ECU was 23-9. It was 23-9. It should have been, now they went and scored more than 23. It should have been under 9 because they had ECU on their own 2-yard line 3rd and 14, and they found some stupid strike against a backup or some rotator, and it's like, gosh. Like, that's the kind of stupidity that happens in the fourth. So that's why I'm saying 32-17, but with a late 7.
Mm-hmm.
But a 32-10 throughout.
So the game's never in doubt.
That to me would be like, oh, yeah, Utah.
Is it a 7-0 halftime, and then Utah figures it out? Is it a...
No, that's a good point. No, I'd like to see a good start.
Yeah, I'd like this to be 17-0 at halftime.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. All right, Hans and Scotty will take our final break, come back, wrap this up, get you ready for JJ and Alex straight ahead, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
Kyle Whittingham and the Utes hit the road for a battle against West Virginia. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up another edition of the show, Hans and Scotty, Frank Dolce with us. It's your Ute Preview Show. We do it every Thursday. Critical game for Utah. Pretty much every game is critical for Utah going forward. But you can't give up a game in which you're going to be favored to win on the road against West Virginia. Frank, final score in this game will be what?
I want to say the score will be 34-10, but my feeling is Utah's going to go in and struggle.
Huh?
So
wait, whoa.
I'm
sorry.
27.
Well,
I'm going 21-10.
You said who's going to struggle?
Utah.
You think they're going to struggle in this game?
Here's how I feel about Utah. Now I'm a Utah guy. Like I love Utah. This is not.
Well, I know you do.
This is what I feel about Utah. It's like now Utah put themselves in a position after last week's performance where it's like you have to almost regain the trust of the fan base.
Like,
and so it's a week by week.
You've been hurt.
Yeah, I've been spurned. That's how I feel. And now I feel like, okay, if you want me
You think
to
Frank ever felt spurned in
accept
college?
you with
No.
open...
Not a chance.
No. I once asked a woman that I was full in love with, Frank. I asked her,
Can you help me
I said,
out?
describe your ideal man. Describe the man that you want to marry.
It's a heart-wrenching story, Frank.
And this was, we had just got done making out. Like, there was a nice romantic kiss and everything.
John
And I
Cicada in
said,
the background.
and I wanted to, like at the time I was just so in love with her. I was like, describe the man you want to marry. And she's like, oh, like 6 foot, dark hair, a slender build, a very serious, good grit. Like described a man that was just the total opposite of me and devastated me. I mean, I was destroyed. You don't know what that pain is, Frank. And I don't want you to sit there and act like you know what that pain is.
Yeah.
Scotty asked a girl to prom.
I did, and she said yes.
She said yes to him, Frank.
And you know what happened 2 weeks later? Her friend.
No, you sit there and look at what you did.
Her friend came up and said she got a better offer, so she's not going to prom with
Her friend told Scott
She didn't even have the guts
she
to
got a
tell
better
him.
offer.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it means to be hurt, Frank.
Don't tell us about heartbreak,
Gosh, it's crazy when you pull out these kinds of things.
When I was quarterback at the U, I really felt heartache a lot. Shut up.
Life was rough.
When I was beating down Rancho Cucamonga, when I was the king of Volusia County.
You know when things are funny because they're witty, and then there are things that are funny because they're just so ridiculously ridiculous? That's the side we're on now. I'm talking about how my Utah football team
has
I feel
a girl
let down
ever
by
hurt you before you were married? Were you ever let down, or did you ever get your heart broken?
I'm just gonna.
That's a no.
I'm just gonna
So
say
you don't know,
I'm just
but-
gonna say.
But the carnage left behind,
Iron.
SS Frank.
Oh,
Oh,
do you know how many women are on a talk show right now? Like, I just hope that they don't have a letdown like I was let down by Frank Dolce.
You know what? Iron is forged in the fire. That's all I'm going to say. Iron is forged in the fire.
So this is one thing that I do want to see. They need to look good against West Virginia because they come back to Rice-Eccles Stadium against Arizona State.
I'm getting whiplash from the how you're taking this down this route of I don't know where you're going. So are we back on Utah football now?
And back on.
Okay, they're on talk shows. Women.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine Whoopi Goldberg.
You are not the fire.
There's Frank. Frank's in his Zoomies with his TVs on.
I knew it.
3 o'clock could not come soon enough. Can we go to break?
Frank's moonwalking off the stage.
Can I just
as Geraldo Rivero's like, Frank, come back, come back.
Thank you for listening to the Ute Preview Show.
That's only the first test.
It's been so nice spending time with you.
Hey, but to your point, Utah fans, in one of the biggest games and biggest moments with Big Noon there, all Fox, Portnoy and the whole crew.
Yeah.
And they got embarrassed.
They laid an egg.
Arizona State will be at Rice-Eccles Stadium the following week.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have that confidence from this West Virginia game to make sure you're taking care of business against last year's Big 12 champions. So I do agree with that, Frank.
Frank, always a pleasure.
That was a circuitous route to get to agreement.
Yeah.
But we just know you've never been let down in your life.
Never. That hurts us when you think that you're one of us, the hurt and the betrayed.
I had a woman describe to me Frank Dolce as the man
pretty much. That's what I was
she
going to
wants
say.
to marry.
Yeah.
As she dumps me and sends me on my way.
Beautiful set of veneers.
You have a smile that's worth $1 million.
All right. JJ and Alex coming up next. Hans and Scotty. Frank Dolce, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.